Gentlemen.
Morning.
Tell you a little secret about a lot of people here have been bullied at some point in their life. Have been bullied, are bullied, will be bullied. Some people might just continue to be bullied for the whole lifetime. Now, how does it feel to be bullied? Awful. Awful? What's the awfulness?
Somebody's putting you down.
Just putting you down, but you feel what? Depressed?
Afraid.
There's more than depressed. Huh?
Afraid.
Afraid. You feel afraid because you never know what they're going to do next. And, no self-esteem. No one's going to be able to take you. Boy, you feel like defenseless. You have no defense. The person can take advantage of you anytime they want.
So what was your day?
Well, it does a lot more than ruin your day. It could ruin your life. So first of all, why do you think that people bully?
Feel bad about yourself. They're jealous.
They're jealous, they feel bad about themselves. What else?
They're bored.
Bored? Nah, people don't bully because they're bored. That's right. See, you know, I've always said, two people can go through the same experience in life. One person decides that was very painful, and I don't want anyone to have to go through that. That was horrible. And I am going to do what I can to really help out that nobody else should have to go through the same experience. And then the other person might go through it and say, wow, that was a real painful experience. You know, and I felt so insecure and so vulnerable and so defenseless and controlled and manipulated. You know, I could do that to somebody else and then they'll feel that way too. Why? So it's a decision. Some people decide that was horrible, but I want to make sure no one else goes through it. That's a tzaddik. And then the other person who says, that was painful. Now I know what pain feels like. I bet I can make someone else feel that way too. That's a Russia. So you have a tzaddik and a Russia. That's right, but the decision that the person makes in their mind is really, do I want to be a tzaddik or a Russia? It's not just I want to have control. I want to make someone else have pain. I do. And the more pain I do to them, the more control I have. So you say, okay, he feels better about himself. That's for sure at that point. But a tzaddik also feels great when he can help people. Why is that any worse? Being the tzaddik and helping people, you think the tzaddik goes, oh, I feel so bad, but I'm going to help people anyway. I feel horrible about myself. Really? I don't think so. I think tzaddik can feel pretty good. They might not go, oh, sorry. No, they don't do that. But they feel good that they saved somebody. In fact, I remember once ran a counseling group, and I asked everybody in the room, and I had all kinds of very, very interesting people in this room, and I asked them, what was the greatest moment of your life? And when we went around the room, different people said things I would have expected. You know, my greatest birthday, things that happened to me, I got. You know, I expected that. I got a car, I got this, I got that. And then one guy goes, the greatest day of my life, said was, I was doing, like, we were all doing drugs. He's a big musician, big famous musician, this big successful rock group band. And he was like the lead singer. And he was this really very, very talented guy. But he was a big drug addict. And had a lot of addiction problems. So he says, the greatest day, we were just sitting around and we were just doing drugs, and somebody OD'd right there. They died right there. They're all sitting there. One person did this drugs, and woo, dead. He said, and everybody else was so basically drugged up. They were like, they just died. He goes, and I go, you know what? I think I can say. And he goes, I know the antidote to this. And he says, I was so stoned. I'm so stoned, but I think I knew what to do, and I saved the person. He goes, and they lived. He goes, and on that day, I saved somebody's life. It's definitely the greatest day of my life. I gave somebody back life. And that person, everybody else goes, you know, that was a very, very special thing. You're right, that was the greatest thing. And we went around the room again and I said, what do you think out of everybody here, whose day was the greatest day? And everybody said, for sure, that guy. Not because he saved somebody's life, because they said, because he literally
felt like
he gave somebody something, and everybody else was just getting and taking. So there's a difference between the tzaddik and Rasha experience over here. The Rasha, what does he want to do? He wants to take. Take respect, take honor, get power, get control. I mean, you say he also wants to give people a lot of pain and give them fear, but that's not the kind of giving that anybody's interested in receiving. And then you got the tzaddik on the other hand, who he's not getting a whole lot except for feeling good that he's actually helping people, but he's giving. He's giving people back their life. So the question every time is, which one do I want to be? You're right, it's not easy to give. You'd rather take. But do I want to be the tzaddik? Do I want to be the Rasha? The Torah says, I'm giving you today bracha and klal. So bracha is if you do mitzvahs. And klal is if you do a favor. The person is really either giving or taking. Tzaddik or Rasha. And that's what everybody has to decide. You see something going on, somebody is being bullied. And you want to know something, it doesn't take very much just to jump in and say, hey, leave them alone. Hey, or just distract them. You don't even have to say, leave them alone. Stay away. You don't have to do that. All you got to do is, hey, I need your help. You just take the guy who's doing the bullying and refocus him or her on something else. You don't even have to confront them. But you just gave somebody else life. Not being bullied, not being picked on. But I'm telling you, gentlemen, this is going to happen for the rest of your life. The question you have to decide is, for yourself, the person's going to be a bully or watching bullies. The person who's watching can just jump in and say, which one do I want to be? Do I want to ignore this? Do I want to participate in it? That's really not good. So what do? I could either say, hey, enough. Or I could just say, hey, I need your help. Or I can't fix this, I can't do this. You come up with some excuse. And you get the guy away. And usually once they're distracted, they're not going to go back immediately. And the other thing is, if a guy's going to be a bully, you want to be the tzaddik, you want to be the Russian. In the end of the day, nobody really likes a Russian. Not nobody really likes. Nobody likes. Because they know, even if they're friends with that person, it's not too long before the Russia's going to turn his or her attention to them, to you. And if you're no one likes that person. So you're going to paint yourself further into a corner. You're alone. I know people that are big Rishonim, and finally, you see people that get into these shootouts. And you kind of wonder yourself, like, why did the guy get himself into a shootout with the police or with an army or be surrounded? Why? Why didn't he just run off? What's the shootout thing? And he knows he's going to die. The answer is, because he has no more life. He's no more life. It's over. He hates everybody. Everybody hates him. No other choice. And they don't see any way out. Now, the truth is, there's ways out. Guy's not nice. He's done some really bad stuff. He could be rehabilitated, serve his time, and get out. I met a guy years ago when we were in Cleveland. It was this group of people we got together to help out a lot of kids in the inner city. And I worked with this guy, who was, they called him Big John. Oof. Man, he was big. He was like 7 feet tall. Literally 7 feet tall.
He's a basketball player.
Yeah, he was more than a basketball player.
How much did you weigh?
I didn't weigh him.
Check was bigger than that.
Never met Jack, but I'll tell you, this man was big. And he was covered in tattoos. And he has scars. Ooh, really wicked looking scars all over his body. And you saw a lot of his body. He was very proud of that body. I mean, he was a giant. Big guy, very built. And he had spent, I don't know, maybe 15 years in jail. For stuff. Bad stuff. And in jail, he said, he really worked out even more and more and more, he said, and he did all these tattoos. He said you had to have tattoos to look like you're tough. He said, but he told himself, when I get out, my whole life is going to be focused on helping other people. He goes, and that has been my life. He says, helping them get off of drugs, helping them get out of bad situations, get into college, get into life. That's what he did. He was very successful at that, and he was just all in all a pretty successful guy. And the guy said, I turned my life around. I did some very, very bad things. He said, but I decided I don't want that to be me. And he changed. He said, my whole life changed. So Rabbi Isai, just because a person has done some really bad stuff doesn't mean they're stuck in that situation. Some really, really bad people turned around in their life. So nobody is really that bad. That they have to point them, really paint themselves into a corner and nobody likes them. And they don't like everybody else. Why? Because you don't like me, I don't like you, blah, blah, blah. Back and forth. Just make up, I'm going to help somebody. I don't want to be the taker, I want to be the giver. I want to be the helper. And your life will change and you'll be a person everyone likes. I can't say everyone will like you. Because even when you give, it doesn't mean everybody's going to like you. There are always people who don't like you. They're jealous, whatever it is. Who cares? Move on. But the main thing is, don't be the bully. And if you see it, you need to try to stop it. Be creative, like I said. You don't have to say, stop it. You could be creative and say, hey, I need your help over here. Please, come on. And they go, I'm busy. I need your help. Come on, I need it. And just drag them away. Let that person get away. That's what you got to do. All right, everybody. Let's think positive. Celebrate.